This is the Dave and Shecky Show. We got this groovy podcast for ya. Reviewing crazy tunes or quoting Twain and Sting and Dune. We'll bring ideas to share like bonus points for extra flair, cause it's the frickin' Dave and Shecky Show. This is the Dave and Shecky Show. We're bringing you this groovy review. We might preview movies, bake some bread, or drink some smoothies. So come on, have way too much caffeine. You roll up some rivers, I'll reference some Raffy. This is the Dave and Shecky Show.
Hi.
I'm sorry?
Hi.
Is it Fat Albert?
It's not.
Oh, who is it? Oh, is it Haywood, what is his name? Haywood Nelson.
Hey, would you?
Hey, would you blow me?
Yeah.
Haywood Nelson. Hey. See, I think his was hey. And I think Fat Albert was hey.
Yes. One of them was like that, and the other one was like that.
Were you doing one of them?
I was doing what's happening, man.
Yeah, that's Haywood.
I want to get into the dichotomy of what's happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The problem with Shirley.
Oh, boy.
Is that she was an Uncle Tom.
What?
Dressed up in the outfit of a Aunt Jemima.
Okay, that is not at all true.
Yeah. Cornell West.
Mm-hmm. He had nothing to do with that
This
show.
motherfucker told me.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 lumps of sugar and 1 cream. I gave him 2 creams, and all of a sudden I'm starting a race riot.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what this is about.
Stokely Carmichael told me to shove it up your ass.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to episode number 26 of the Middle-Aged Cool Kids Super Terrific podcast featuring your pals,
Bob and Tom.
You've done Bob and Tom before.
Oh, Bob and Tommy.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Tommy Bobbins and Bobby Tommins.
All right. It's featuring your pals, Dave and Shecky.
Bobby Tommins.
He's Dave.
Bobby Timmons.
And I'm Shecky.
That's a real person.
Good. Very good. Now, let's just right off the bat here, I want to say how last week, after the show was over, it just cut out at a weird spot, and I had to go and hastily put an ending in there. But we had been talking, it had been a conspiracies, unsolved mysteries, and deep dark secrets show, and the last thing we spoke about was the Black Dahlia. And if you listened, when we first started talking about it, Dave was like, "I'll solve this mystery." Are you ready for this unsolved mystery?
I am.
Because it might even be a solved mystery, to
I'm
be
ready
honest.
to solve it right now.
And then the shit got cut off, and in a way, you really did solve the mystery because
Black Dahlia, if you please.
Okay.
Isn't that the song?
No. So what we wound up talking about further was Dave had started talking about how Pasadena was steeped in this weird, dark magic type of thing in that time, in the 40s and 50s. And he brought up Jack Parsons.
Yeah, turns out the little old lady from Pasadena was really a Satanist whore.
She might have been. Pasadena, steeped in this weird religion shit. Aleister Crowley started his own religion, and Jack Parsons was part of that. And Jack Parsons was famously friends or even a landlord. He rented a room out to L. Ron Hubbard, who also started his own religion after swindling money away from Jack Parsons. So
Schwindler.
He even uses some of the same, close to the same terminology. Also, part of the Aleister Crowley thing was not to listen to anybody who talks bad about this religion, which is also a Scientology thing. The initials OTO were taken from the Aleister Crowley religion. I think what happened was that
did Aleister Crowley start that religion, or was he a purveyor of a religion?
he started a religion.
Well, it doesn't make him a bad person.
No, it doesn't make him a bad person, but it hold on.
No, he's no Ben Franklin. I mean, I'm just saying, there might be some bodies under his porch.
This is here it is. Thelema. So all of a sudden there's Thelema, there's Thetans, there's the words sound very familiar.
I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm an anti-termite.
Okay.
Yada yada.
All right. So and then, like I said, OTO. So in the end, we brought this all around because the Black Dahlia, George Hill, he lived in Pasadena at that time, or right near Pasadena, maybe in Glendale, which is really all part of the same place.
Yes, even Altadena.
Altadena I don't even talk about.
Altadena ain't nothing but some milk.
Okay. So I just feel like we really missed a good 10 minutes of the show that were really interesting.
Yeah.
And it just kind of all led to L. Ron Hubbard, Jack Parsons, and this George Hill.
George Hodel.
Hodel.
George Hill. That sounds
George
like
Hill
Henry
Hodel.
Hill.
And the guy who's, probably 99% sure that he was the Black Dahlia killer, and perhaps even the killer of other women, according to his son, who was a police officer, detective. And I just feel awful that the show got cut off because we were really talking about some really interesting shit there. So if you want George Hill Hodel, Black Dahlia, Aleister Crowley and his religion, Jack Parsons, and ultimately L. Ron Hubbard, they are all in it together. And also, for whatever reason, Jack Parsons had a show made about him this year. I don't know if the show makes him seem like a smart guy. I mean, I think he was. I think serendipity played into his life as far as the rocket engines and the propulsion and stuff. He was not educated in rocketry at all.
Well, he was a comic book fan.
He enjoyed a good sci-fi comic book and happened to befriend somebody who did go to school for it. So anyway, I don't know what the show says about him. I don't know that we would watch it.
I don't know.
I have a preconceived notion of Jack Parsons.
Jack Pa, son.
Anyone who, he was. If you read up on him, I mean, he and L. Ron Hubbard got into some weird masturbatory things together.
Hey, love me too.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Hey, love me dude. It's the Paul McCartney memoirs.
Parsons stole Hubbard's second wife from her. It's a whole thing. It's a whole weird thing. I
find that people with the last name of Hubbard are trouble in general.
And anyway, it's a weird piece of history there, that Pasadena area in the 50s. It's beyond weird. It's insane. So
and then there's David Lee Roth's basement. So there's that too, but somehow we can't tie that together right this second.
I've been to David Lee Roth's basement, and while it is huge, I mean huge, it is huge. There's a fireplace, and it's an old school basement. But
when your wife says that she's been in David Lee Roth's basement, should you be worried?
No, because there was it was a regular basement. Nothing weird happened down there.
What if it was the 70s?
I don't think so. I think
I don't think I want you in his basement in the 1970s.
I don't know that he
that man was good looking.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't think when you're that charismatic and that good looking, you have to lure anybody into your basement.
Well, who says anything about luring? I'm just saying,
No.
You give a girl a key, she winds up in a basement.
I mean, it happened to me, but it was probably because I needed to get something.
What is this, the Eton Pate story?
The who?
Ooh, that's poor taste.
Who was it?
The kid was on the milk cartons in New York.
Oh, that's terrible. 80s. Oh, that is terrible.
Yeah,
that was
they
poor
solved
taste.
that one.
Yeah.
It was a Puerto Rican fucking handyman. He had his way, you see. He was handy in too many ways.
Was he an illegal?
No. He was just a fucking scumbag.
Well, sometimes
He's
there's
not
just
Mexican. He's Puerto Rican. Let's get this correct.
All right.
He's not on a Caravan. He's on a fucking Dodge Caravan.
I hate to tell you, there's no Mexicans in that Caravan.
Mexican Americans.
Guatemalans. Anywho, so that's. I just wanted to kind of. I'm sure it sounded.
Beaners by.
Okay. Oh my
Cheech and
God.
Chong.
Dave? Can I ask you? Are your headphones working?
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying something.
I know. It led me to think of Beaners.
All right. Go ahead. No, I don't know the song. Please sing it for us all.
I'm not singing it. It's just
I would
racist.
like you to. Oh.
But apparently in 1982, it was top of the charts. The charts.
The charts.
Okay, Chachi, go ahead.
Okay, Chachi. So yeah. Sorry about that. That was a bit of a mess. I wanted to get that all out there because it did get eliminated from the show last week, and we were getting into some fascinating shit. And
I channeled Einstein. I solved the goddamn theory of relativity.
He did not. That is a fib. So yesterday was Halloween. How did you spend your Halloween, David?
I was spooking little kids.
No, you were not. Don't say that.
I was out on the corner going like, boo.
We have no kids in this area.
It was like, boo.
Okay.
I was like, hey, kid, boo.
Boo. Okay.
Hey, you want some candy? Boo.
Boo.
First one's free. Boo.
Okay. Dave?
Hey, kid, you with a beard. Get over here.
That's not a kid with a beard.
Oh.
The reason I asked him is because I had asked him to spend Halloween night with me watching the live event, the live Ghost Adventures event with Zach Baggins et al. At the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum of Mystery.
Yeah, I checked that out.
You really didn't check it out, Dave. I said, you watch this with me? Yeah, I'll be right there. And he came in and watched maybe 15 minutes, and then you kind of just left. And didn't even say, I'll be right back. You just kind of left.
I had a fucking freak out, man. I saw that fucking little kid named Gunnerella, and it fucking ruined my world, man.
Okay, so Gunnerella.
The fuck, Gunnerella?
Gunnerola.
Go fucking back to the prom, Gunnerella.
I think it was
Gunnerola.
Gunnerola.
Like granola, only
Dave,
more
I have to explain who that dude is. No one knows what you're talking about.
Well, who the fuck is he? Why would he be there?
He was apparently in charge of social media for the live event. So this is what happened. So Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures fame owns his own spooky, scary stuff type of museum in Vegas. And so what they were going to do was do a live show for Halloween, and they were going to be investigating all. He's got the Annabelle doll. He's got dirt from some demon house. I mean, he's got Dr. Kevorkian's van that he used to use to gas people. So he's got a lot of shit there. I think it's like 33 rooms. It's a huge house. It's like a mansion. So it sounds very fun. It's right up my alley. True or not, real or not, fake or not, I don't care. It's fun. Those guys are fun. He's hysterical to me. But then you get the production involved. The production people, I feel, are fakers, and they want to fake shit, and I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary, especially when you have someone as entertaining, even in the weird way he's entertaining. I believe production was throwing fake shit out there left and right, and it was a downer. And it was like some shit, like they had this piece of video where they show this orb floating through the thing, and it's so clearly something done on one of these Adobe products that I'm missing out on right
Adobe.
now. So they have Dave Schrader, who took over for Art Bell, Midnight in the Desert. I don't know if he's still doing the show, but he did eventually take over.
He's the Eddie Trunk of the show?
Dave Schrader is a man who's done the Art Bell show. He has sat in for George Norrie. He is a well-respected voice and name in that community. He occasionally shows up on these ghost shows. he seems like a real cool guy. They had him standing in front of this bank of televisions, and they made him tell us about this one piece of footage of this orb. And then for the 4 hours afterwards, we never saw him again. I feel like he walked out. We didn't see the room. We didn't see him. They made no use of the room again. And I never saw Dave Schrader. They never mentioned him again. I feel like he was like, you know what? This seems fake. I don't want to be involved with this. And he left. And they never mentioned him again. So then there was this thing they were kind of talking up the whole night, the Dybbuk box, which is some weird Jewish mystery box that, from what they're saying, is that you're supposed to put like things, put them in the box and then lock them away, and then they don't bother you anymore. Things from people, hair, I don't know.
Brisket.
So, what is it? No, brisket. I don't know. I don't know if food is part of that, but they have
brisket in the box.
They have this box that they say is the most haunted thing in his museum, and they're talking up how they are going to open up the box and then investigate the room and see if they can contact whatever's hidden in the box. So, and then they do this thing where they just give you like a minute or two background information of a pre-made package that explains, this or that. And the show is fairly well done. It's fairly entertaining. And then the rabbi comes. And Zach's like, look, a rabbi just contacted us and said that he knows how to seal the spirit back up into the Dybbuk box if we let it out. So he wanted to come and help. And I was like, oh, that's cool. A rabbi just comes and says, I want to help, and he's there. The rabbi comes in, and clearly he's a total asshole. Because he goes, so Zach, because all Zach knows is that production said, rabbi is coming, he knows how to seal the thing back up. So Zach is pretty excited, because then that means, yes, I'm going to open this box, and we have a way to seal something back in, so he's not letting it loose on the masses. Mm. The rabbi comes in, typical rabbi that you would be annoyed by, for me anyway. And Zach goes, so you've studied the Dybbuk boxes? You know about them? I read about them this morning. And Zach's looking at him like Zach's totally confused, because in his head, he's been told this guy knows a bunch and is willing to seal the thing back up. And Zach's like, oh, you read about it this morning? Well, did you read about how there could be entities that are locked in? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I know that doesn't fit your script, but I don't think that's what goes on here. And you could tell that Zach, and it's live. And Zach's just looking at the guy like, who are you? You are not the guy that, So Zach's like, okay, follow me. And they cut to somebody else. And that's the last we see of the rabbi. But then Zach comes on and explains how this rabbi had said he really wanted to be in the show, and that he was, knew all about this thing. And he didn't. He just wanted to come on and be, a dick or something. I can't imagine.
Who says he's even a rabbi?
Oh, he looked like a rabbi.
Hey, that's racist.
Oh, well, then I'm a racist, because he looked exactly like a rabbi. So the show was I feel like the show was, there was a lot of fake shit going on.
You think?
But I feel like it didn't need it, because those guys scare the shit out of each other anyway. So you don't need any fakery happening. He owns that museum. The museum is real. A lot of those things are real. He drove in on David Koresh's old, I think it was a Camaro. He's got a lot of stuff in there. I don't need to defend Zach Baggins.
He has David Koresh's Camaro. What a douchebag. Does he have a 16-year-old girlfriend too?
I don't know what he has, but that car was sweet, and I'm not going to lie. But I feel like those guys, if you ever watch the show, they scare each other all the time. They are so on edge that they're scared by anything, and they think anything that scares them may or may not be evidence. So we didn't need any behind the scenes production people faking shit. And that's what happened with Ghost Hunters. They started faking shit. And I feel like Travel Channel did a real disservice to Zach and his his band of people. They should have just let them be for 4 hours. And they had that guy, what's his name? Josh?
I'm not sure.
As the MC. You didn't like that.
I don't know his name.
Okay. Well, you didn't like it yesterday. Today, you don't seem to care so much at all about it.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Josh, the Destination Unknown guy. The guy who was
Dave Schrader.
No.
Who's Dave Schrader?
Dave Schrader is a guy you didn't see because you left before that happened.
Oh.
Josh, I don't know, Josh Gates
That
was
guy's
the
a
MC.
douchebag. Fucking, that's the Eddie Trunk guy.
That's the, Dave Schrader's not Eddie Trunk.
That guy Josh is terrible.
He did the events for Ghost Hunters too. And he's good at it. He's good at it. I think he's a jerk, but he seemed like he was good. He's good at that, at standing around and emceeing shit. It's a talent, I guess. I wouldn't be able to do it like that.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure he's reading, but still, he's good at it. His voiceovers are way better than Zach's voiceovers. Zach's voiceovers are awful.
I don't know how the show's still on the air.
With no big camera crews following me around. It's terrible.
I don't get it.
Oh, and we found another word that Zach Baggins couldn't say. Mirror. Mirror, he has a real problem with, and he says mirror, like meerkat.
See, my problem is he's retarded, and the whole show is unworthy of my attention. So it's just like I don't get it.
It's a bit of a train wreck, but it kind of is. It's kind of like MST3K for me. It's a train wreck, but it's still funny to watch.
MST3K is better than that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yes, because then there's people yelling up at the screen. With Zach, it's me yelling up at the screen. So it's fun for me. It's like I'm engaging in it. Interactive.
It's rough.
It is. It is rough. You have no tolerance for Zach Baggins.
No. It's all, the whole show is nonsense.
Nonsense. The other thing I wanted to talk about that you mentioned last week was the 2 women found washed up on the shore. At that point, we didn't know much about it. Now we know so much more. Looks like it was an honor killing. An honor killing.
I love that.
It's just another way of showing how our culture does not clash or does not mesh with other cultures, and perhaps we shouldn't force it. We shouldn't force diversity when other cultures think it's okay to honor kill.
What? You can come over here, just don't fucking kill anybody.
That's what I'm saying. You don't mesh cultures, just deal with ours, where we don't honor kill.
Yeah. There's no melting pot. No one's melting anymore.
No.
We got everybody's got these personal pan pizzas. And there's no big oven with a fucking stew.
Okay. Soup. They ain't got no soup.
You fucking faggots with your personal pizzas ruining everything. Mm-hmm. You go to a goddamn fucking deli. You ask for a bagel, an onion bagel. Let me get an onion bagel. And they give you an onion on a bagel. They don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. That's how bad it is.
That is bad. I would really be annoyed if I went into a deli and asked for an onion bagel and got onion on a bagel.
Here's cream cheese with a slice of onion on a plain bagel.
Ugh.
Onion bagel with cream cheese. What are you, a moron?
It's weird.
That and honor killings. I don't know what's worse.
Honor killings are pretty bad, Dave.
Yeah, but have you had that onion bagel?
No, but I'm gonna say honor killing's worse.
I'm just saying, I don't think I'm ever going to be a victim of an honor killing, and I'm definitely going to be a victim of a bad bagel.
Yes, but I think you will live through that.
It's true.
Hopefully you will live through that.
What is it, Saudi Arabia? Why are these people even allowed in this country? What is it? What the fuck is going on? Aren't they the purveyors of 9/11?
Saudi Arabian sisters found dead, duct taped together off New York City River, had applied for asylum. So I think they did want to mesh in with our culture.
They look Spanish to me.
Well, that's an artist's rendition.
I think the artist is racist. That motherfucker makes everyone look Spanish.
I don't know.
He writes his bank statement, his check, he writes his signature. Oh my God, it's a Spanish person.
They were from Virginia.
The home of Spanish Saudi America.
I mean, maybe it's, I don't know.
Virginia?
Yes, Virginia.
It's for lovers, not honor killings. I think they got that all wrong. There's the new sticker. Virginia is for honor killings.
No, that's...
I love New York because you can wash up on the Hudson's Bank. The Bank of the Hudson.
I think that's...
Did I have an account there?
Awful. I think people are terrible, and I think if your culture is for honor killings or for tossing gay people off of a roof or for anything that's clearly not human, you need to rethink your culture.
Why? Fucking Sinead O'Connor just converted to Islam. Everything's great. That and her tweet to Russell Brand where she said, come on and horse it into me, boss.
What does that mean?
That means she wanted Russell Brand to, if he wants to help her, he should fuck her like a horse. And then she converts to Islam. Yeah, she's sane.
She's nuts.
First of all, anyone who wants Russell Brand to have sex with him is clearly nuts.
Why?
Because...
You think he's not handsome?
I think he's out of his mizind.
Yeah, but look at her. She's out of her mizind. But she's also at least twice his age.
She's delusional.
Yeah.
He's out of his mind. She's nuts.
I see.
She's certifiably crazy. He's just nuts.
I see. She's crazy in a bad way. He's crazy in a way that's fun and endearing.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it still could be crazy.
I'm not sure. My jury's out on him.
That's fine.
I don't know. I don't know.
I have a sneaking suspicion that he is a liberal person, so I don't...
Well, man, if you're not against it, you're definitely part of the problem.
I feel like I don't seek out celebrities anymore on Twitter or any social media because I don't want to know their opinion, even though they think I do.
I think Jim Carrey is a complete asshole.
Yeah, I think
what a pompous, self-serving fool.
I think we've thought that for a long time, though.
What a moron!
I remember.
What a moron! Sorry.
I remember in the 90s when we first moved in together, he was on all those late night talk shows. And he did the same bit on each one where out of his wallet, he took out this check he had made out to himself for $20 million, saying, one day you're going to get a check just like this. And that had been the year that he actually did get a $20 million payday for a movie. I don't know if it was Ace.
Secret.
Oh, it was Ace Ventura or The Mask, one of the two.
Mask.
He got a ridiculously large check for, and I just remember, I remember the first time he did it, I was like, oh, that's okay. He wrote himself a check. He really was confident. But then when I saw him do it on every fucking show, the same thing, like, oh, Jim Carrey's on Letterman tonight. Jim Carrey's on The Tonight Show tonight. And Jim Carrey's on this one tonight. And it's all the same fucking stupid check out of his wallet as if people don't watch shows. I don't know. I was annoyed by Jim Carrey in the 90s, and it never ended.
Schmuck.
He's a schmuck, the biggest. So, what did you want to talk about today?
I don't know.
I know, but I come up with everything, and I see, I'm looking at our recording here, and I'm talking way more than you. So I would like you now to say some stuff. Go ahead, Dave.
I have nothing to say for sure. God damn it, I'm silent.
I can't have you be silent since you're the, fun-loving one, and
There's nothing funny. The news is terrible.
I'm the bitch.
You kids out there are fucking everything up. What are you, retarded?
Did your parents go with you around for trick-or-treating?
My parents took me to Vietnam War protests. God damn it.
All right, well, that sounds great.
My parents were on the left.
Yeah.
And look what it got us.
Not a darn thing.
Yeah, we went trick-or-treating, but my parents stayed out of the picture, you see.
Who's we? Did you
Yeah,
go
all
with
the
Coleman?
kids. Boom. The family kids.
Did you go
The
with
brothers
Coleman?
and sisters.
Oh, you
Huh?
went with your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, my sister, brothers, sister, family members,
What was the last thing you
school friends.
dressed up as?
I don't remember.
Probably a bum then.
Hey, I think I was a black kid.
Stop it. You were not.
What? This was back when it was okay to do that.
You were. You went in blackface as a trick or treat.
No, I don't think I went in blackface.
Yeah, I don't
Would
think.
never do that.
Well, then but that would be a black kid.
I just had like a graffiti marker and I was like robbing people.
Okay, Dave. I don't think that was Halloween. I think that was just you wilding.
Is it me or black people the only people who rob you?
I don't think that's
Okay,
true.
It's just me.
I think that is just you.
Is it me or did black kids steal my radio in 1986?
That I don't know. That could have been.
Right, yeah, that's me.
How did they do that?
Oh, is it me or
Okay.
was it a black and a Puerto Rican guy who held me up at gunpoint for my nickel bag of weed? And the Puerto Rican guy was Madonna's boyfriend. Was that me? Yeah, that was me.
Jelly Bean Benitez?
No.
Oh.
Schmucko Fucko, who's dead now, you see.
Oh.
Because he lived a life of corruption. And I'm alive because I hate him.
I don't think you're alive because you hate him, but
I'm alive because the hate runs through my blood.
Okay. This
How
is what
come every
happens
time
when I try to
held
get
up
him
at
to talk.
gunpoint, it's a black guy. I don't know what to tell you.
How many times have you been held at gunpoint?
More than you, apparently.
Yeah, I have. I don't think I've ever been held
Yeah,
at gunpoint.
well, you know, someone's got to cop the weed.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
you get held up at gunpoint for a nickel bag, and then you go back, and the kid's like, "Where's my weed?" And you tell him you get held up, and they think you're just stealing the weed.
Right.
You know what? Go fuck yourself, you little bratty cunt.
Okay.
Yeah, black guy holds me up for my weed, and then and we say, "You want the beer too?" He says, "No, beer makes me slow." Does it? I don't think it's the beer making you slow, you fucking mook.
And he had a gun?
Yeah, he had a gun, a real gun. Kenji tried to get on his side. He said, "Don't I know you? I think we went to school together."
Oh shit, son.
Kenji's moving from my side over to his side. Before I know it, Kenji's holding me up with the fucking guy.
No, he was not. He never did that.
Well, you might as well have.
He might have said he recognized the guy, but I think he was just trying.
I was like, "Kenji, give him the fucking weed." He's like, "Don't I know you, man?"
I think he was just trying
I don't
to
fucking know you.
diffuse the shit.
Kenji was about to get shot. Dumb motherfuckers.
Where was this in New York?
Oh, 88th Street in Columbus.
Back then, when that was really shitty neighborhood. Now it is middle-aged white people.
You people don't know.
They don't know that it was bad.
You don't know.
It was really bad. It was really bad.
It was so bad. It was fucking excellent.
Well, not if you're getting held up by gunpoint.
Yeah. Well,
When you were held up by gunpoint, was it always for weed?
yeah, I didn't mess with the hard stuff.
I'm just saying, was it ever like you were just, at a store or something?
No.
You
You
were-
were always followed from the cop spot.
You were always up to no good.
Yeah. And any interaction I ever had with cops in New York has sucked. They all suck.
I grew up in Morris County, New Jersey, and I was friends with all the cops in my town. They were very cool. They were the type of people who would, give you a ride if your car broke down or come by and say hi as they were walking the beat. I have a very different view of cops, and perhaps every time or nearly every time you had a bad experience, you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing.
I'm done talking about these people.
Okay. So what are you listening to on your turntable? What have you been listening to lately?
George Duke? I listen to George Duke.
Who's George Duke?
George Duke's one of the best piano players in the world ever.
Is he still alive?
He is not alive.
When was he? What do you know about
George
George
Duke
Duke?
passed away in 2011 or 12.
At what age?
Probably about 65.
Okay, so what does he play? Jazz or everything?
He plays jazz, rock, funk, fusion, soul, everything.
Is he playing originals? The stuff that you're listening
He
to?
played original music. He played with Cannonball Adderley in the 60s. He played with Frank Zappa in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
He played with Frank Zappa on all of the amazing stuff from 1971 to 4 or 5, maybe.
Is that why you listen to him? Because of the Frank Zappa connection?
I think that might be how I first got into him, but I like him way more than the stuff. I mean, the stuff he did with Zappa is cool and all, but George Duke is really gospel. His roots are in gospel sounding stuff, so he really has a great, I don't know, he has a great understanding of chords and harmony.
When did you start listening to him? Like, is this a new thing that you're into, or have you been into him for years?
I've been listening to George Duke since the 80s.
And why did you listen to him in the 80s?
Well, George Duke is a classic jazz musician who was heavily influenced by P-Funk.
Ah.
So he started playing music that sounds almost exactly like P-Funk, like Funkadelic.
On a piano or like a synthesizer?
Oh, no, synthesizer. He's all synthed up. George Duke is one of the best electric keyboard players ever. He's just phenomenal. The reason he took up synthesizer is because Zappa bought one for him and put it on his next to his piano and said, "No, just play it if you want." And George was like, I don't know what all these knobs are. I can't do this. And then eventually, slowly but surely, he started messing with it, and before he knew it, it became his main instrument.
Wow.
But yeah, he's one of the best. George Duke, Joe Zawinul, Herbie Hancock.
So what specifically have you been listening to? Any specific like
Chick Corea.
George Duke stuff? Like
listen to George Duke live 2010 with Christian McBride on bass. Very good stuff. Yes, very good.
Have you ever seen him live?
I never saw George Duke live, unfortunately. I don't think nope, never saw him. George Duke has a Duke Cobham band from 1975.
Oh.
Where Doug Roush was the bass player.
Ah, Doug Roush.
And he was kicked out of the band because he was so druggy. And they got Alphonso Johnson.
Who was? Doug Roush?
Doug Roush was unreliable, so they got Alphonso Johnson, who left Weather Report because he was about to be replaced by Jaco Pastorius. So he left before he was fired. Went over to George Duke's band, and we saw Alphonso Johnson and Billy Cobham, who was the drummer for George Duke in that band. And we saw them with Jazz is Dead.
Jazz is Dead. I talked about that not too long ago.
And John Schofield was the guitar player for the George Duke band back then. And that's the first time really anyone ever saw Schofield. And he has gone on to become one of the most prominent jazz musicians ever, I would say.
So you've been listening to George Duke, specifically the 2010 stuff.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for people to listen to George Duke?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's a heavy trip, man.
Would you say just listen to the 2010 thing? Are they songs people know, or are they...
I don't know what you're trying to get into.
Dave, hi. I want to listen to George Duke. What would you recommend?
Well, you got to start from the beginning, so you have to start around 1972, 3, 4, 5.
You do have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, those are the albums.
72, 73, 74, 75 is soul, or...
those are, that's like instrumental funk fusion jazz, I would call it.
Oh, it's all instrumental.
Yeah, well, 90% instrumental.
And it's piano, or it's the synthesizer?
It's all things.
All keyboard type things?
Mm-hmm. That's worth listening to for sure.
Okay. George Duke. George Duke. And is that what you've been listening to exclusively?
No. What else am I listening to? I'm just like listening to podcasts, I guess.
Oh, yeah? Which podcast do you listen to?
I listen to Owen Benjamin.
You love Owen Benjamin?
I like Owen Benjamin.
Sometimes you don't agree with him, but you really do like him.
He's good for a 38-year-old guy. He's 90% on. He just needs to know his history a little bit better.
Yeah. At least he cares about it.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good for sure. He's been blacklisted by Hollywood, basically.
By Hollywood and by all social media.
Yeah, just because he doesn't want children to have hormone, what is it?
He doesn't think, well, I think one of the things he says is he doesn't think that young kids should have hormone injections if they're, under
Parents think
18.
they're trans.
Yeah, if their parents think that they're trans.
Right.
Johnny wants to wear a dress one day when he's 5, and you think let's give him injections so he has boobs by 7. I think that's an awful, awful way to be. I think the left is crazy.
That's so crazy, man.
Are you listening to Dennis Miller's podcast?
I've trailed off on Dennis Miller.
Why is that?
I don't know. He started boring me. I don't know why.
Okay.
I like him, but I listen to Nick DiPaolo.
You said, you like Nick DiPaolo?
Yeah, I like Nick DiPaolo. I like him. He's pretty entertaining. I like Gavin McInnes. He's very entertaining.
Gavin's got Ryan, too.
People think that he's some sort of evil person.
I know.
They just are completely missing what's going on.
The people think that Gavin McInnes is evil because the mainstream media is portraying him as this, crazy alt-right mastermind, when what he really is like a Spalding Gray character who's fucking hysterical.
He's also mocking everything.
He is mocking everything.
Everything is completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's married to an Indian.
American Indian. Native American.
Hey, that doesn't make him a bad person.
No, but I just want it was Indian.
Hi,
It could mean, Indian.
No, God, no. For God's sake. What is he? He's not a savage.
Native. He's Scottish by way of Canada, married to a Native American, and
people call him a racist. He's a white supremacist. He's not even American.
He's not a white supremacist. It's fucking hysterical. But you say his name and people look at you like, but I highly recommend him.
Definitely.
He is funny. He is a funny, dope dude.
And then I listen to Michael Savage. So go fuck yourself. How about that? All right.
Michael Savage is very entertaining.
That man's intelligent. People think he's. There's a problem when you're more right wing than Michael Savage.
Is that you?
Yeah. Some of the stuff he says, it seems like he's a liberal.
Well, I think he prides himself in not, towing the party line.
Well, he used to hang out with Jack Kerouac and all those fucking wacky people back in the 60s.
Well,
those,
70s. I would assume.
Not Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg.
Oh. Allen Ginsberg, I'm not a fan of.
No.
Allen Ginsberg's disgusting.
I don't know. He had a dirty beard. He might have been part of a bad group. Then again, he might have just been saying something about the rights of people. I'm not sure.
Well, he could easily just say something about the rights of people without actually attending a Nambla meeting. That's the problem. If you want to check out a really horrific documentary, there's one called Chicken Hawk, all about Nambla, and Allen Ginsberg shows up at a Nambla meeting. So I have no love for Allen Ginsberg.
Well, he saw the best minds of his generation.
I mean, you could say, hey, I believe in free speech, and that means these fucking disgusting assholes too. But he doesn't. He attends the meeting.
He was a fake.
I don't know, but Nambla is...
he's a fake.
Those people are gross, and Allen Ginsberg associated with them.
They were all fakes. All those guys were fakes.
There was this...
All the Beat generation were fakes.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being gay and being a pedophile.
Tell that to the pedophile.
The pedophile...
the pedophile. Where do I find the pedophile? Because my nails need to be ground down a little bit on my feet.
Okay. In Chicken Hawk, there's one guy who, I don't know who did this documentary. I can't imagine how could they not murder anybody they spoke with. But there's this one guy who's like sitting in like a convenience store parking lot. And there's a little kid who's, riding his bike to the store, probably to pick up gum, Hershey bar, whatever. And
Skittles.
I don't even know if Skittles were around then. And the older guy, the Nambla guy, goes to the interviewer. You see, he's showing off his bike for me. As if this little 8-9-year-old kid was being sexual by riding his bike around the parking lot. This guy was convinced he was doing it to turn him on.
That guy needs to be shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I could make that documentary and then not just kill everybody I spoke to in it. It was disgusting. Chicken Hawk. I don't even know if you can find it. You'd probably have to download it from, some
dark web.
I don't know if you'd have to go all the way to the dark web, but it's
Is there something called supercomputers? Is there a supercomputer?
Oh, it sounds like you've been speaking to Coleman.
Well, he told me there's something out there called a supercomputer. It's got magical powers.
Okay.
Can it make me a brisket sandwich?
No, it cannot.
Well, then it's not super.
There's supercomputers out there. I mean, supercomputers.
I'll take soup.
Okay.
What? What are they?
It's just it's
there are gaming?
The people use.
Are you LARPing?
The LARPing. People use the term supercomputer for different things. Back in the day, the Apple G4 was the first supercomputer.
That's super.
It was just that it was, had a lot of processing power. I don't know what they use the term for these days. Probably something similar. Watson is probably now considered a supercomputer.
He's supercomputer.
I don't know.
Thanks for asking. Well, okay. There you go. There's that.
I don't know. I know Coleman's very interested in supercomputers.
Well, so there's a caravan coming towards the border? There's two of them? Is that what's happening?
There is an invasion coming towards the border.
They apparently requested buses to be supplied by Mexico, and that Mexico said, no, we're not giving you buses.
Yeah, I mean, if you're from Guatemala and all you want to do is get out of the country, why go all the way to America when there's other countries in between here and America? It is an invasion.
Yeah, but what are they supposed to do when they're going to come to the little Texas border town, and they're supposedly just going to come across?
No, they're not coming across.
But they just expect to?
Yeah.
Well, what else do they expect when they get here?
They now we have the army is going there, or some sort of military operation.
Militia
is going to go there, and I don't know how they're going to do it.
Militia.
Sweet Militia.
That's the Greg Allman tune.
Sweet Militia. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, sing a little bit of it.
No, I'm still working on that one.
Oh, okay.
I think there's some copyright infringements I got to get around.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe in 20 years, though, we can do it.
I think General Mattis is on the case. General Mad Dog Mattis is on the case, and I feel like if you are coming to the border with your child, you're probably a terrible parent, and you should have that child taken away from you for life.
Well, I don't know what's going on over there. I mean, if you're forced to flee, you got to flee.
They're not forced to flee, Dave.
Why would you flee as part of this big group?
They're not.
I was at a Who concert once. I had to grab onto the group to get out. Otherwise, I was going to get stampeded. Well, is that what this is like? You grab on, you get a hold of the train, and hopefully
have you seen
pull
pictures of these people, Dave? They're all well dressed.
They're wonderful.
They're well
I
fed.
love these people. They look great.
No, they look clean.
They're very handsome.
You're not listening.
There's very clean Hondurans.
Guatemalans. They look very clean. They look like they get a change of clothes every day. They look like they're fed every day.
That's good.
It's not a caravan of people walking. They're only walking when there's photographers present to take pictures.
They're
They're
tramps
not
and thieves?
walking. They're
tramps and thieves?
They're getting on
Gypsies?
Okay.
They are tramps and thieves, aren't they? I know it. Okay, I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for, David?
I've derailed the conversation.
You derail every conversation we have, whether it's recorded or not.
Well, derail the conversation. Tramp and thief. Okay.
You asked about the caravan. I'm telling you, it's an invasion.
I understand. I wasn't asking about the caravan, so to speak. I'm just saying, what do they expect when they get to the border? They just suppose they're just going to come in? That's all I'm saying.
That's what they're hoping. I don't think it's going to happen.
And then what? We're just going to give them cars and bank accounts?
That's what they want.
What else would you like?
They would like welfare.
Would you like a little place on my property?
Yeah, why not?
My daughter, she can have sex with your son?
They would like to rape your underage daughter, yes.
How about my older age daughter?
They'll rape everybody they can.
You can have my daughter who's overage. It's just the underage ones you can't have.
I'm just letting you all know we don't have any children.
I got a 25-year-old daughter you're going to love to rape, baby.
You don't have a 25-year-old daughter.
I could.
Do you have a daughter?
No, but if I did, I'm just saying I wouldn't mind if an immigrant raped her.
You're an asshole,
As long as she was older than 21. Because apparently, everything's for the kids.
You don't want... If you had a kid and somebody raped her, you would probably kill the person.
Well, then I'd have a reason.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that I might stop recording this show and say we have to start again another time.
All right, I'm sorry.
It's crazy. You don't want anybody to rape your children.
Well, I don't have any children.
I thought that, but then you said, you don't know. Maybe I do. So I said, do you have a daughter?
No.
This is what happens. See, I need to come up with a thing and then just get your opinion of the thing. I can't just say, go ahead and talk, Dave, because then it's madness.
Shush, what's the thing?
Just whatever the thing might be. Ghost shows or unsolved mysteries or top 10 songs. I should come up with the thing and then have you comment on the thing instead of saying, Dave, what thing would you like to speak about? Because it gets very weird and very dark and a little bit racist, a lot racist, actually.
Well, someone's got to be.
I don't think someone has to be.
Apparently they do.
I don't think someone in this room has to be.
Why? There's honor killings and caravans coming, so someone's got to be racist.
Yeah, but it's not racist to not want either of those things. That's not racist.
Then
That's
who's racist?
The left would have you believe that if you are against those things, you're racist. But
I'm
that's
not racist.
That's just common sense.
I didn't hold up a white guy. I'm the victim here. I'm the one getting held up.
When was the last time you were held up?
Long enough ago that it doesn't matter anymore.
I don't think you've been held up since I knew you.
That's true.
Okay.
That doesn't make me a racist.
That you got held up? No.
I'm just saying, whatever. I don't know. These people are losing it. They're making me something I wasn't. I used to be I was the guy. Now I'm not the guy.
What guy were you the guy?
I was the guy.
What guy?
I was the protester. I was on the side of the right, of the wrong. And now, now I'm racist.
You're not racist.
Exactly. They're racists.
Is George Duke a black man?
He was a very black man.
Okay.
George Duke was the best.
Then you're not a racist. If you like black music and funk and soul and R&B and all that shit.
Yeah, George Duke was amazing. You know who wasn't amazing?
Who?
Trayvon, whatever the fuck Skittles Johnson's name was.
Trayvon Martin?
Yeah. Take your Skittles and shove it up your ass, you fucking goddamn vagrant.
Are you all right?
What?
Are you sweating under your armpits?
Well, maybe. Sometimes I sweat under my armpits.
Oh, we have the window open and it's like 50 degrees in here.
No, I want a sweater.
Are you sick?
No.
Okay.
I'm sick of it.
Oh, sick of it. I see. So, Trayvon Martin, who Obama said could have been his son.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix bought a Black Panther newspaper, and then the Black Panther guy asked Jimi Hendrix's background singer why he didn't buy a Black Panther newspaper, and the background singer said, Jimi Hendrix bought a paper because Jimi Hendrix wants the paper. I don't want the paper, so I didn't buy the paper. Now, that sounds very simple on the level, but what it is a statement of how Jimmy felt pressure from the black community to serve the black community when he was seen as a sellout and only playing to whites. And now, Jimmy's background singer was one of twins named, I forgot his name, but he's one of the Ghetto Fighters. That was the group called the Ghetto Fighters.
What are the Ghetto Fighters?
They're these background singers. They sing background on freedom. And the motherfucker's way blacker than Jimmy. So this Black Panther seller of newspapers trying to pressure this black guy into buying a newspaper because he thinks he's not being black if he doesn't want it. And he said, Jimmy bought it because Jimmy wanted it, and I don't want it. See? Because not everything is black and white.
So then, what did something bad happen to him? How do you even know this story?
It
Is
was
this a
a
real
Jimi
story?
Hendrix documentary.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
man.
See.
You know, this shit's been going on since before the 60s, is all I'm saying.
Well, in that documentary, Best of Enemies, with Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley, here it is, 20-something years after the Holocaust, and the Democrats are comparing the Republicans to Nazis. They do it all the time. They never didn't do it. I mean, and honestly, it's tasteless to do. It's tasteless to do, to compare anybody to what went on over there.
It's tasteless to call a Jewish person a Nazi. That's for sure.
I feel like the Dems, the left has been doing that for years. When I saw that in that documentary, and I highly recommend the documentary Best of Enemies, when I saw that the Democrats did that back then, I was just like, they have always been about just shouting out ridiculous things to get your attention and make you, it's very weird. There's no reason or there's no truth to it. It's just a quick headline to try and get you to feel a certain way and to convince you that the other guy is bad. I don't watch any news anymore at all. No, nothing. I'll read articles, but I will not watch it on TV. I don't want to see the scroll. I don't want to see the headlines they've picked out for me on the bottom of the screen. I don't want to. I want to be able to read something and say, oh, well, this is what I think, and then maybe dive a little deeper in if I want to and see more circumstances surrounding a situation. But I'm not listening to the news anymore. It's just too much. It's ridiculous. It's not news. It's not real.
Is bad.
It's just that it's not real. It's entertainment, and each side wants to entertain you, and there's no once in a while I'll watch that guy Steve Lookner. Do you remember him? I don't think you ever saw him.
I'm not sure about that.
Steve Lookner he's Agenda Free News or something, and he'll just get on there. Remember we used to watch him on YouTube? Like something would happen and he would just be like the Jewish guy in front of the blue screen.
Yes, I remember.
That guy. So sometimes I'll listen to him because he's pretty cool.
Who's the good-looking guy who had this conspiracy? What happened to him? Where'd he go?
The good-looking guy that had the conspiracy.
He had the, he was exposing everything with Seth Rich or something.
The good-looking guy who was exposing the stuff with Seth Rich.
He's like a big guy. Big guy with a woman and a Jew.
Matt Couch?
He's like, looks like he could be like a all-American kind of guy, senator. Almost.
I know there's a guy named Matt Couch that was exposing some stuff. Then there's a guy named George Webb.
George Webb. Is he the one? He's big?
I don't know if he's big, but he's kind of...
a guy next to him who's smaller than him?
Oh, you're talking George Webb and Goldman?
I don't know. Just some good-looking guy and then some schnivelly-looking Jew guy next to him.
Yeah, that was Crowdsource the Truth. George Webb and then the other guy.
What happened to him? How come he's gone silent now?
They're not silent. George Webb still does his thing. What is that guy's name? Goodman? Adam Goodman? I think it's Adam Goodman. Alan Goodman? Adam Goodman? He still has Crowdsourced the Truth. They were big on the Awan Brothers too. Like they exposed that shit, I would say almost a year before anything happened.
What happened?
Nothing's happening because they are trying to bury it, but the Awan guys, not citizens of this country, yet had access to all of Congress's secret computer files. And then they got caught doing some sort of scam,
He fled the country.
Tried to flee the country, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz was trying to defend him. Didn't take him off the payroll even after he was being pursued. So, and then she threatened a cop for not giving her laptop back. It was crazy shit. But this is something that this is a huge deal. They were getting paid. Him and his family members were getting paid like X amount of money. Some of his family members were, pizza delivery guys before they had these jobs with Congress. So it's all insane, and it should be a huge scandal. But the mainstream media is so in the tank for the left that they will not expose anything that makes them look bad. They just won't, and it's
you think Hillary's going to run for president in 2020?
Hillary, they all look alike Clinton? I don't think so.
Hot sauce.
I don't think so.
She ain't in no ways tired.
I ain't in no ways tired.
I think she might have glued her shoes to the bottom of her feet.
Oh man, I can't imagine.
Straighten out that wig, glue your shoes on, and you're good to go.
The left and the mainstream media tried to convince us that it was her turn, that she deserved it, and that she was
with her.
I'm with her. Are you? I'm not. And then they started saying it. Ghostbusters tweeted it. I'm with her. The stupid CW Supergirl show said I'm with her.
What's that woman's name? Leslie Jones?
Leslie Jones.
She has the most offensive selfies I've ever seen in my life.
The naked ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
What
not.
is wrong with her? Who told her to do that? What is that?
I don't know.
That's some Harambe shit right there.
That's not attractive. That's not attractive. But maybe, I don't know. I find her unattractive, and what happened to Milo because of her is absurd.
I think if her and Luis Guzman had a child, that kid might be...
a dog-faced boy?
Might be the end of society as we know it.
Well,
dog-faced boy.
Maybe
yes.
they won't. Maybe they won't. They'll stay away from each other.
I hope so.
So, why did we start talking about that?
I don't know. I think I brought it up randomly.
Oh, George Webb?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and speaking of censoring conservatives, Gab.com. So this guy went in and shot up this synagogue last week. This guy who was a Trump hater, and who was on several social media platforms, including Facebook, I think, Twitter, and Gab. Yet somehow Gab got blamed. Gab got blamed for this guy. Gab is a free speech Twitter alternative. And
where did it say he was a Trump hater? I don't even know that I saw that.
Yeah, he posted anti-Trump shit. Gab is a place where I have an account. We have an account, Middle-Aged Cool Kids. But they have shut Gab down. Someone got to the people who are providing the hosting service for Gab, and I don't know if they paid them, they threatened them, I don't know what they did, but they shut Gab down. So Gab is no longer up right now, but...
How is that legal?
It's not. I can't imagine that it is. So this is the thing with Gab. Yeah, there are assholes on there, but you know what else Gab has? A filter.
Wait, aren't there assholes on Facebook and Reddit and Twitter?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there are. Believe me, there are. And so on Gab, if there's certain words you never want to hear, just add them to the list of things you don't want to hear. And the filter works pretty darn good. I had one issue with it once, and I sent the founder of Gab a message, and he said, I'll take care of it right away, and I'm assuming he did.
There's no words a filter for words you don't want to hear?
Yeah, like the N-word, say you don't want to hear somebody who's ranting about N-words.
If you don't want to hear the N-word, how about you just kill yourself? How about you stop breathing? That's a good way to stop hearing the N-word. That'll solve it.
Well, I filter out certain words because I don't want to get involved in those conversations. I'm there to just to comment on news or talk about our show. I don't want to find myself in the middle of a conversation about N-words or the K-words or the J's. I just don't want to. I mean, you could go on there and filter pumpkin pie if you don't ever want to hear about pumpkin pie. That's up to you.
That's an insane feature, in my opinion.
But no, because it's free speech, but you also have the freedom of filtering it for yourself. It's individual responsibility. So instead of him saying, look, we're not going to let people say the N-word on this platform, he says we can allow people to say whatever the fuck they want on this platform.
Can you imagine, though, back in the day, if you had your news source and you had the ability to filter out anything you just didn't want to ever hear about? You know how close-minded you'd be?
You can do that on Google. If you go to Google News, you can tell them exactly what you want to see.
But just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's not happening. You can put your head in the sand. It doesn't make you any safer.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
Your ass is still going to get hit.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that Gab allows all kinds of speech, but it also allows you to say, there's some kind of speech I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear about tweets about pro-abortion. I don't. I think it's gross. I don't want to hear about it. So I can, if I wanted to, say I don't want to hear about abortion in general. I think it's, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about the New York Mets. I'm a Yankee fan. I don't care for the Mets. I don't want to hear about them. It doesn't matter what you want to filter, but you have that ability to, because you are an individual who can think for yourself. You have that ability to block shit if you want to. You don't need a company like Twitter saying, you know what, we're going to silence Milo. We're going to silence Owen Benjamin because we think you can't handle what they have to say. Gab is the exact opposite of that, and I hope they find a new home soon. I am 100% behind their platform. And
what happened? They got shut down. What does that even mean?
The people who were providing the hosting service for their website and their application said, we're not going to provide that anymore for you.
What gives them the right to have a service? How do you acquire that?
Well, we have a service. We have a website. And so
why doesn't Gab just have their own provider?
Well, I think maybe...
Why aren't they a provider?
I think maybe they're going to try and do something, or maybe they'll get in touch with Kim.com. I don't know. They're going to...
Who's the provider? DreamHost?
DreamHost is our web host, yes.
How do you become DreamHost?
I guess you buy a bunch of servers. I don't know.
Why wouldn't you want to be your own provider if you have your own network?
I don't know. Maybe because they're a startup company. They have, they ask for donations, and they have gotten, I think, $1 million in donations. So maybe they are going to do that. I don't know. But I think it's terrible that conservatives are being silenced or made to look like they're semi-retarded when if they say anything that the left doesn't agree with. I think it's disgusting.
Why doesn't Trump just open up some fucking hosting services?
Because Trump is the president, and he's not allowed to do stuff like that right now. Maybe when he's not the president, he will.
Even if it was a nonprofit?
Yeah, no, you can't. If Trump does something, then it's seen as government sponsored, and then you can't do that. That's why he had to sign away all of his businesses to his kids. That's why they're taking care of his businesses. I guess Don and Eric are taking care of stuff, running stuff. But those businesses also take care of themselves, I would say.
I'm just saying, why you got to rely on someone? If you're that big, why aren't you providing it yourself?
Well, maybe that's their next move. Gab.com, they have a page up that explains what's happening.
Twitter has a provider?
Twitter, I don't know what Twitter has. They may have their own thing. I don't know.
Someone could just say, Google, I don't want you up anymore? Or Google has its own
Google has its own stuff, I would say.
Why wouldn't everyone have their own stuff then?
I mean, Google has its,
Anthony Cumia has his own stuff?
No.
Why wouldn't he?
Well, I don't know that Anthony Cumia has that kind of money.
How much could it cost? Once you get one, why don't you put other people up on there?
I don't know.
Start paying. I mean, I don't understand. People rent his studio. Why don't they rent a service from him, a provider service?
I don't know. I don't know what he has.
Is there a monopoly on it? Are you not allowed to get the provider service?
I don't know, hon.
Sounds like a racket.
I mean, it's a utility. It's a huge business, so it's not like, it's a multi-million-dollar thing. So I don't think Anthony Cumia or Gab at this point have that kind of cash, but maybe someone like a Kim.com, who does have a lot of cash, or at least seems to, can put their heads together and get shit done. I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers for Andrew Torba of Gab.
And the FCC has no regulation over the internet?
Why would they?
I don't know. They regulate every other thing that goes out over the airwaves.
Yeah, I mean, they have a thing where if it's 18 or over, you have to say I'm 18 or over.
That's the FCC?
I don't know if it's the FCC or if it's a law, and I don't know. I mean, HBO plays stuff that's for 18 and over.
I mean, don't you think there should be something out there that prevents someone from shutting down something like Gab because they don't agree with them politically? There should be a commission to stop that.
But then it's...
We don't deserve freedom, clearly. We need to re-regulate it.
I feel like if they can claim the internet is a utility, then something like that can be enacted. But right now, it's a private company saying, I don't like your views. You can't be on my internets.
Not fair.
Yeah.
They need to be regulated.
Something needs to be done because it's being used against only conservatives.
Yeah, it's completely manipulative.
Yep. And it's, I'm sure George Soros is behind it all. That is my guess.
Net neutrality.
Stop. All right. So, other than the stuff I have to edit out of this, what do you think of the show?
It's a wonderful show. It's a good show, man. I love your show. Your show has a beautiful tan, man.
What would you say this show is about?
The show is about life, love, and liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
This episode
was about like ghost hunters and Negroes.
It was not. Okay. It was Ghost Adventures.
Oh my God, your skin is so beautiful. It's got a Negro tone.
Okay. Why are you saying that?
Oh, I love your hue.
What are you talking about?
You have a cocoa hue.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know. It's a new character I'm coming up with.
Your new character is weirdly racist.
It's Jewish acting agent. Jewish agent to the non-stars. I want to represent you. I know you're just giving me a sandwich at the deli, but I'd like to represent you. Oh, you have a wonderful look, man. That kind of stuff.
I think that guy went away in like 1968.
Oh boy, thank you for packing my bag so well. Do you need a representative? I could rep you.
Oh my God. I don't even know that a person like that ever existed.
Oh, PetSmart employee. I love what you do. Let me represent you. I'm a rep to the non-stars. And you have a beautiful hue, baby. It's Coco.
Oh my God. I'll have to come up with something.
Afro blue, cocoa hue. Ooh, ooh.
The next show, I will come up with a definite a thing that we can then discuss together, as opposed to Dave riffing. Dave's riffing goes right down into.
Listen, babe, I'm Coco Hue, and I want to represent you.
What?
I know you're just a bagel maker, but everyone needs a bagel in their life, and I think you should be that person.
An onion bagel?
I want to make these bagels clear. I'm talking about see-through bagels. I see through your bagels, you Jew.
So it's November, and we're going to start thinking about I don't even know if you can do it, but at some point in this month, we are going to do a show about things we are thankful for.
Oh, you mean like John Coltrane?
Okay, maybe.
My favorite things.
Okay.
I'm grateful for John Coltrane's My Favorite Things, because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have the Awan Brothers as we know it today. Okay.
All right. Well, then what?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe you can make a list of, say, 5 things that you're thankful for, and we will talk about them maybe the next episode. They can be things that you've purchased, things that you've heard. It doesn't matter. There's no limit on the things, but maybe you shouldn't be grateful for something that's racist.
I'm grateful for Jerry Garcia.
Okay, there you go. Well, this is not that episode, but perhaps it should have been, because you seem to be more focused when you're talking about those sorts of things.
I'm grateful for Robert Hunter.
All right. Well, this has been a heavily edited version of this show because I have to censor Dave.
I got a new product. It's called Negro Frusciante.
Okay.
It's part black guy, part guitars for the Chili Peppers.
Okay. This has been episode number 26 of the Middle-Aged Cool Kids Super Terrific Podcast featuring your pals Dave and Shecky. I'm not sure what the episode name will be, but we will figure it out. We have a hotline. Do you know the hotline number, Dave?
Yeah. 707 MACK 043.
Very good. You do know.
Motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Not necessary.
Yeah.
Nope. If you would like to call the hotline and leave a message or recite a song or say dirty things, that's fine. That's what it's there for. Free speech. Free speech. Do look up the Black Dahlia, the Jack Parsons, the L. Ron Hubbard, the Aleister Crowley religion. It's all insane and it's all connected. And Pasadena was not a place you should have been in the 50s. That's all I got to say about that. All right, Dave. Do you have any parting words?
Yeah, Sly Stone may live in a camper, but the motherfucker used to live in a mansion in Napa as recently as the 2000s. Okay, so don't feel so bad for Sly Stone.
Okay. And that's, I don't know why we're talking about that right now, but
I'm just saying.
If you're out there feeling bad for Sly Stone, don't.
Yeah, you think Sly's had such a bad life. I bet your life has been worse.
Okay, probably. I know mine has. I know the last hour and a half has been terrible for me. All right, see you next time, America.